Hey there guys, Mike here. Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays collection is back. And today guys, I have a little collection of war films to show you. Some really interesting new pickups and a few off-the-shelf recommendations. And let's get right into it with one of my favorite early 90s movies that came out. 1992 for me was a very plentiful year, like for movies. There was like so many like new filmmakers coming out on the scene. You know, so many new filmmakers. You had, you know, Tarantino. You had all this fresh stuff coming out. There were so many interesting movies that came out in 92. You know, you had Bad Lieutenant and, you know, Reservoir Dogs and just all kinds of cool, kind of like, it was almost the beginning of a new decade of, you know, filmmakers. And I think this period of time ran from like, could say 91, but definitely 92 to like 97 was kind of that time period where there was just so many cool, interesting, influential movies came out. You know, a lot of new filmmakers busting out on the scene that are still making films now. You know, some of, you know, I would say my generation's, you know, Scorsese's and stuff, you know, or something. But anyways, this is a Blu-ray release from from the Shout Factory. This is a film directed by Keith Gordon. Now, Keith Gordon, you might remember from the movie Christine back in 1983. He was the kid obsessed with the car, Christine. That's Keith Gordon. Now, he did a wide range of movies in the 80s and 70s and stuff, and then he became a director. That was his what he really wanted to do, and he made a few movies. But this was, I believe, his debut film, and it's one of his best films. And this is a Midnight Clear. Really good movie. Just the young actors featured in this, especially Ethan Hawke. I mean, Ethan Hawke had been around for a while, but I believe he really came back. He kind of started out like as a kid actor, and then he went to college, and he just took a break, and then he came back to movies and stuff. And this was one of the movies he did coming back and everything, and really, he's really good in this. You also got Kevin Dillon, who's Matt Dillon's brother, Peter Berg, you got Ari Gross, Gary Sinise, Frank Whaley, I mean, and John C. McGinley. Music by Mark Isham. But yeah, written and directed by Keith Gordon. And it's a real tour de force. I mean, it basically takes place in a little chateau during the snow. Kind of snowed in. This group of, you know, a young platoon, kind of basically just kind of holding up there while the weather changes a little bit and everything. And they're being watched by a group of Nazis who are also young guys and stuff. And it's really a fascinating film on the psychological damage that war can do to people, you know, because Gary Sinise has a real turn in this movie and stuff, and you can tell that he's just been exposed to too much and everything. And it's a real standout performance by Gary Sinise, because later on he would star and direct in his version of Mice and Men with John Malkovich, which is another great, I believe 92, 93. This came out, was it 92 or 93? Yeah, 92. And I recommend that one too. And that's kind of when Gary Sinise got put on the map for me. You know, and then of course later on he'd be in Forrest Gump as Lieutenant Dan. But yeah, this is a great movie, and this is a great release. It's got some really good, it's got a good supplement on here, a look back at A Midnight Clear, and really good. I've liked that movie for a long time, and it just took a while before I got it and everything. Next up, this is a really good movie. Now, the first time I watched this, it didn't appeal to me as much, but I put it in and watched it again, and I love it now. It's a great war film covering part of the war that is not covered that much. You know, the World War II and the invasion of Burma, the Burma fight. You know, but this is based on the fighting 537th Platoon. This is directed by Sam Fuller, who made The Big Red One of my favorites. This is Merrill's Marauders. And this is a really good Blu-ray. It looks really good. I had previously had this on DVD, and I sold it off and upgraded for this. And I'm glad I did that because it looks a lot better. Jeff Chandler stars in this. Now, he was a big actor in the 1950s. This came out in 62, I think, or 61. And it wasn't too long after that he passed away. He had cancer. But great little group of people. Claude Akins is in the platoon. He has a great part. But yeah, it's, you know, World War II. You know, they're in Burma. You know, they're fighting the heat and the mosquitoes and the, you know, they're in the jungle, crawling through, you know, the water, the marshes, just really cool movie. That basically, you know, war is hell. You know, war is hell, and it's really directed by Sam Fuller, who was in World War II in the Battle of, you know, Europe, with the Big Red One unit that he was with and stuff, and that's why he later on wrote, you know, the movie and made it and stuff. But Merrill's Marauders, definitely get that. Fans out there of the Big Red One. I know Jim, friend of the channel, Jim's movie channel. Jim's a big fan of the Big Red One. Now, talking to you, Jim, if you hear this, now get that one, man. If you like the Big Red One, get that one. Next up, this is one I got off the shelf. Big fan of this movie. This is such an underrated movie, and this was out of circulation for decades. And back in like 2007, it came back on home video for the first time on DVD. And this is a movie called Island in the Sky, starring John Wayne. And this is another one that's got a great cast. This has got some great documentaries on it and stuff. I don't believe any of these are on Blu-ray. But there's a series of these that came out during that time period that got re-released to video. But yeah, this is a William Wellman movie. Starring John Wayne. You got Lloyd Nolan, Walter Abel, James Arness, Matt Dillon himself is in this, Andy Devine, and it's got some other guys in it though. Harry Carey Jr. also is in this. Really cool. It's John Wayne and a group of guys are up on the Canadians' Arctic Circle, up in pretty much a vast wasteland of nothing but ice and snow, and their plane goes down, and they're trying to survive out there, and they're just lost out in this vast area, and they send out, you know, some rescue parties, their friends, trying to find them, and it's like finding a needle in a haystack, and really compelling, edge of your seat, just well acted. This is one of those movies that you will come back to watch again and again, because it's just such a good movie, showing camaraderie and respect, and for John Wayne, because John Wayne like basically trained them all, and he plays a character named Dooley and stuff, and there's a scene where they say Dooley's down, you know, and they're all like, we got to get him, you know. So it's one of those, it's just a good rousing movie, you know, showing friendship and brotherhood. So Island in the Sky, very good movie. Next up, this was a movie I picked up after, it was shortly after Robert Redford died and stuff. And this was a movie that I hadn't seen before. And I heard Quentin Tarantino talking about it on his podcast, and I was like, man, let me check that out. You know, I'm going to check that movie out. So this is a movie called The Great Waldo Pepper. And it's directed by, what's his name? George Roy Hill, who made Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid and everything. So he's in this. So what it is he plays this back in the 20s. After World War I, there was all these pilots that came back. So something started flying circuses, which is like these biplanes, and they would do tricks, and they would go to town to town, you know, basically out Midwest area, and do a little show. They would get donations, make some money, do these air shows, do the death-defying tricks and stuff, and real dangerous stuff, daredevil tricks and stuff like that. And this is a very good movie, and I'm glad I've finally got to see it and stuff, because it is really good. I mean, you cannot help but to just really fall in love with Robert Redford's character in this. I mean, he's so good in this. It's also got Bo Stevenson, or Stephenson. I always mispronounce his name, but he's really good in this too. Margot Kidder, before Superman, and the beautiful Susan Sarandon is in this too. I think this movie came out in 1975, and yeah. So I got this Region 2. I think it's a Region 2 Blu-ray, and it looks really good. Shout Factory put out a Blu-ray of it, but it's out of print, and it's really expensive to try to get a hold of it. It's up in like the $50 range and stuff. So I went with a Region 2 Blu-ray, and I got this for like $12. So there you go. The Great Waldo Pepper, really cool. And at the same time, when I ordered that, I accidentally ordered the DVD from Universal by accident somehow, but I only ended up paying like $5 for it. So I don't know what I did. I guess I forgot that I ordered it, and then the Blu-ray came up, and I'm like, oh, and then I ordered it like I forgot or something. I know you guys have done that out there, but this is the unopened DVD, Universal DVD of The Great Waldo Pepper. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it. I may sell it. I may give it away to somebody one day if somebody really wants to see this movie. But yeah, I got a hell of a deal on it, and it's going up in price because, you know, it's out of print and everything. So, but I think you can still get the DVD though. But the Shout Blu-ray is out of print. But it is really good. It's just a really good movie. It's a lot of fun. And finally, guys, this is one of the first like older war films that I ever got to see. Now, this was on Turner Network Television, TNT, back in like 1990. And I remember this clearly, that I was home from school that day, and there was always this kind of time period every day on TNT between like 2 and 4 that they would show some interesting movies. It's like I always caught some cool movies and everything on there, like war films and stuff. And I was home that day, and I think I saw the colorized version of this. I can't remember that part of it, but this is the original black and white version of Battleground. Really good, rousing World War II movie. MGM. You know, starring Van Johnson, John Hodiak, Richard Montalban, George Murphy. Gosh, who else? Some standouts on here. James Whitmore. Great movie. Also directed by William Wellman. I forget all the movies William Wellman directed and stuff. And this was from 1944, I think, or 45. Let me see. Is it 1948? Let's see. I don't know. I can't tell. I want to say 44, but it might be 48. But anyways, Battleground, really good movie. Runs almost 2 hours. Again, you got a great group of guys on a mission. This is in Europe at the Battle of Bastion in France. It was a really bad little battle. They were just, you know, trapped in this town. They had a lot of sniper fire going on. A lot of stories, a lot of movies have been made with that situation and stuff, with snipers and stuff, but really good movie, really good. Fell in love with older movies. This is one of the movies, one of the little bricks that just formed this like love affair with like older movies, because there was just this whole vast universe of old movies I had never seen in my life, and they were all just interesting, and I think I was at the right age to discover something, and just, you know, my crazy movie loving self and everything. But yeah, Battleground, really cool. I do recommend this, guys. Honestly, all these movies are really good. Standout being A Midnight Clear and The Great Waldo Pepper. So, well, The Great Waldo Pepper is really not a war film, but it kind of talks about the World War I pilots that come back and don't have really nothing to do, and all they know is flying their planes and stuff, and that's what it's kind of about and everything. So there you go, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think. Give me a thumbs up, and I will see you guys later with another Fistful of Movies.